Hello and welcome to another edition of Rock's Garage. I'm your host Kevin. On this episode, we're going to show you how to install a micro switch activated brake switch, part number LGT-641, on this 2011 Club Car DS. Now before we get started, we want to show you what's included with the brake switch, as well as all the tools necessary to perform the installation. Now here's a look at what's included with the LGT-641 brake switch. Now you receive the brake switch itself, as well as all the necessary mounting hardware. Now that we've shown you what's included with the brake switch, let's take a look at the tools necessary to perform the installation. Here are the tools that we will be using to perform our installation. First we have a ratchet with 8mm socket, a 9/32 wrench, and a cordless screw gun with a Phillips head bit. Now that we've shown you the tools we will be using, we're ready to begin installing our brake switch. Now before beginning our installation, there are a few important safety precautions that must be followed. First and foremost, you want to be sure that your key is in the off position. If you have an electric cart, be sure that your tow run switch is in the tow position. Before installing any accessories, you want to make sure that your batteries are disconnected. And lastly, since we're going to be working around the brake pedal area, you want to be sure to chock the rear wheels in the event that you disengage the brakes to keep the cart from rolling away. Now our first step is to remove the rubber brake pad from our brake pedal. Now in order to do this, you're going to locate 3 screws on the back side of the brake pedal and remove them using either a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm socket. Now personally, I think the 8mm socket is a little bit easier to work with as opposed to the flathead screwdriver, but it's really up to you and how you want to remove them. Now it's going to be a little difficult to show you where these screws are located currently, but once we remove the rubber brake pad, we'll be able to show you the location where these 3 screws can be found. Once you have your 3 screws removed, the next thing we're going to do is to slide the brake pad to the right towards the accelerator pedal in order to remove it. With the brake pad out of the way, we can now show you much easier the location of the 3 screws that need to be removed in order to remove the brake pad. Now keep in mind that these screws are actually going to be located on the back side of the brake pedal. We just wanted to show you the location of where they will be so that you can find them much easier and remove them. The next thing we want to do is to take the micro switch not attached to the mounting bracket, route it underneath of the cart up into the brake pedal area, and then we're going to attach it to the brake pedal using the longer of the mounting hardware provided. After you've installed the first micro switch onto the brake switch, the next thing we want to do is to lift up the floor mat, locate the 2 holes that were pre-drilled from the factory that are near the brake switch. Once you've located these holes, we're going to install the 2 smaller screws from our hardware kit into these holes. Once you've done that, we're going to go underneath of the cart so that we can secure the mounting bracket with our other micro switch. Once you verify that your micro switch is contacting correctly, you want to then route the connector from your micro switch activated brake switch to the connector from your deluxe wiring harness. Now please note there will be an additional black wire on the deluxe wiring harness side. This will not be used in this installation. The next thing we need to do is to secure any of the loose wires using zip ties. Now up top, we're going to secure our wire to the brake switch, and underneath we'll secure it anywhere we can as long as it's away from any moving parts. Once we've done that, we're going to reinstall the brake pad and secure it in place using the factory hardware that we removed earlier in the process. Now the last thing we want to do is to reconnect our batteries. However, we only want to perform this step after all of our accessories have been installed and connected. After you have the batteries reconnected, at that time you want to go through and verify that all of your accessories are functioning properly. You also want to go through and double check that you secured any loose wiring away from all moving parts. Once you've done that, that'll complete the installation of our micro switch activated brake switch, part number LGT-641, on this 2011 Club Car DS. Now also be sure to check out our other videos for the deluxe wiring harness installation, voltage reducer installation, as well as other accessories. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.